Hello folks, welcome to the Vinson Voice, a weekly television show where we talk to you about what's going on in and around your Carl Vinson VA Medical Center. I'm your host, Greg Swartz, and today I got a very special guest with me today, Miss Danyelle Lawhorn.
Thank you.
All right, she is our nurse manager in our care in the community center, but she is also our facility Mission Act champion, which is the new thing coming out now, okay? But let's talk about you, Danyelle, for a little bit. You've been here for almost 10 years now.
October will be 10 years,
That's
yes.
right. Started out in ICU, then went down to occupational health, and then
community care. I've been in care in the community for 5 years now.
5 years, wow, man, it doesn't seem that long.
No, it does not.
Good grief. Wow, and they got you all locked down there behind closed doors and everything, and all. But anyway, what we're talking about today is on June 6th, the Mission Act is going to take over the formerly called Choice Program. Okay, nothing to panic about. Okay, we don't need to get everybody in an uproar. All right. So Miss Danyelle here is going to talk to us about some of the changes with the Mission Act.
So the Mission Act was signed by the President on June 6th of 2018.
Okay.
And it is scheduled to go into effect on June 6th, 2019, which is just a couple of days away.
Right.
And so, as you mentioned, I am our facility Mission Act champion. We've been working really hard to make sure that there's a smooth transition from the Choice Program into the Mission Act.
Right.
The biggest thing about the Mission Act is it's set up to build our network of community providers that help us take care of our veterans. It does other things besides that people may not be aware of.
Right.
It actually builds our workforce, and it also helps strengthen through education and training the employees that we already have here.
Right.
It expands our community care services. It expands telehealth services, which is a big growing trend.
It is.
It also improves our computer integration.
Right.
There is a new computer system coming. It's a record sharing system.
With the Department of Defense,
well, with the Department of Defense, but also with non-VA and non-federal providers.
Okay, that's right.
So when we send patients out to the community for care, instead of trying to fax those records into us, they can upload the records to this system, and then we just go in and pull the records from it.
That is
so,
awesome.
So that's a big
Coming into the 21st century.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. That's awesome.
one of the other things that it does is it expands the caregiver support program as well.
Okay.
So
That is awesome. That's all. It looks like it's going to be a good program. Really, not a whole lot of change from the Choice Program, and I understand that if you were approved by Choice before, then you're kind of grandfathered into the Mission Act.
yes.
If you're still seeing the same provider for the same issue, correct?
So eligibility for the Mission Act has there are 6 eligibility criteria that veterans can qualify for care under the Mission Act.
Okay.
The one that you mentioned is the grandfathered in.
Okay.
So under the Choice Program, there was a 40-mile rule.
Okay.
And if a veteran lived 40 miles or more from a VA clinic with a primary care provider, they automatically were eligible to receive care in the community for all of their services. So those veterans are being grandfathered in under the Mission Act. There's not really a 40-miler rule per se under the Mission Act anymore.
Right.
The next eligibility requirement is, does the VA offer the service? If it's something that we offer here in Dublin, then of course we would really like for our veterans to receive the care here.
Right.
Statistically, about 85% of veterans want to keep their care in the VA as much as possible.
Right.
The second criteria is, does the veteran live in a state with a fully operational VA? Some states, Hawaii, Alaska, and I think it's New Hampshire, they only have primary care provider clinics.
Oh, okay.
They don't have a lot of specialty services.
Right.
So that doesn't include anybody in the state of Georgia,
Oh,
but
wow,
that is
okay.
an eligibility
Right.
option.
Okay.
And then we talked about the grandfather rule.
Yep.
The fourth qualification is it in the best interest of the patient to
Right.
receive care outside of the VA?
And that's where his or her primary care provider talks with them and tries to find out what would be best for the
Yes.
patient.
Some examples of that would be, we have a big veteran population in the Brunswick area, and some of those patients may receive telehealth services. So if they're receiving telehealth services for the pulmonary clinic,
Okay.
and the pulmonologist says, oh, I'd really like to get a chest x-ray on you. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense for that patient to drive all the way
way
to
up here,
Dublin
that's right.
for a chest x-ray.
Yeah.
So that would be in the best interest of the patient
Okay.
to stay in the Brunswick area
Right.
to get the chest x-ray.
All right.
So that is going to be a really good eligibility requirement
Absolutely.
for our patients, so that
Yeah.
they don't have that that drive.
Long travel time. Yep.
The fifth requirement is, if there is a VA clinic that does not meet the quality threshold that the VA has set for that
Right.
clinic, those veterans can transition those veterans to community providers, work with that clinic to better improve their processes and improve
Right.
their quality score, and then they can transition those patients back into the VA
Okay.
for those specialty services.
Okay.
Excuse me. And then the last eligibility is the access standard.
Okay.
Now, the access standard that we used under choice was a 30-day wait time
Right.
at the VA clinic. So that's changing. We will have a either a 20-day wait time for primary care and mental health services,
Okay.
or a 28-day wait time for specialty care.
Okay.
There's also going to be a drive time implemented under that eligibility listing. And if a veteran has to drive longer than 30 minutes for care
Wow.
at the VA, that would qualify them for community care.
Okay.
The eligibility for that is, it's not something that somebody can just pick up the phone and say, hey, I live in Hazelhurst, I have to drive longer than 30 minutes to get to Dublin, so I automatically qualify.
Okay.
It's actually a tool with a lot of complex algorithms that the VA is using, so that our staff here can look that information up.
Okay.
And that tool is being changed. It's constantly being changed now because it looks at traffic patterns,
Right.
it looks at road construction,
Okay.
it looks at all sorts of different things to determine the drive time eligibility.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna stop for right now, but we're gonna come back and finish up with it. There's a few more things we want to talk about.
Okay.
All right. So folks, we'll be back with more Vinson Voice.
Hi, I'm Jeff Cannon, President of Citizens Bank of Lawrence County. If you're presently a customer of ours, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for allowing us to be your bank. We appreciate the confidence you have placed in us and enjoy providing you with the most up-to-date banking products and services to satisfy your needs. If you're not a current customer, we would like to invite you to stop by and let us show you true community banking at its best. We concentrate on our local community, doing our part to make Dublin and Lawrence County a better place to live, work, play, and retire. We recently introduced 2 new products, eStatements and Access Now, our mobile banking app. Both of these products will help to make banking with us more convenient and will also help to provide you with a safer and more secure banking experience. So for all your banking needs, just give us a call or stop by and let us show you personal banking at its best. Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
You've got miles and miles of grass to mow. So you're going to need a machine built to perform. Day in and day out. Season after season. You're going to need a Gravely. Built to mow the distance.
now at Myers Equipment and Supplies in Dublin.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Vinson Voice. Once again, I'm your host, Greg Swartz, and I'm talking to Miss Danyelle Lawhorn today about the new Mission Act. We got a few things going on. Like I said, nothing to panic about, okay? Not much changing. It's going to be okay, all right? So, Danny, I know there's another piece that's part of the Mission Act, which is one of the major changes, is the urgent care situation.
Yes.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
So the Mission Act actually opens up an urgent care benefit for veterans. Now, it's a little complicated to explain for each individual person because it's based off of whatever their eligibility rating is. I can kind of summarize it for you a little bit. If you have a copay with the VA, you will have a $30 copay at the urgent care. If you do not have a copay with the VA, you get 3 0 copay visits per calendar year. And then after the third one, starting with your 4th visit, you would have a $30 copay for that.
That's a neat benefit.
It's not available at every urgent care right now. They do have to be participating urgent care clinics. We're in the process of recruiting more. We currently have 16 that are on board with us in our service area. And in order to find out which 16 those are, you can call your PAC team. They've got that information here. Or you can go to the va.gov website, click on Mission Act, and then look up participating providers. And that would have those listed there as well.
Now, also, remember, urgent care, that's for like your colds, your sprains, your minor stuff. If you are having an emergency, please do not hesitate to go to your emergency room in your local area, Please, I cannot stress that enough. You know, I know as veterans, we're hard-headed sometimes, and, you know, I know we don't want to make this drive to Dublin every day, but we're worried about those bills, but you know what? Your life is more important. So make sure you go get the care that you need, and we'll deal with the rest later, okay? So,
yes, that is very important. This is no way to take away from the emergency room benefit.
That's right.
I do like to tell veterans, just so that they know, if you have to go to the emergency room or if you're admitted to a hospital, if you can call the VA here and let us know so that it's documented in your record, so that we know when we do the review on the back end what you were hospitalized for, where you're at, just basic information. So that's important for the review part.
All right, so is there anything else we need to talk about as far as cover the urgent care portion? Oh, you know, if you have questions about the Mission Act, all right, first of all, we want you to talk to your primary care provider, and I guess they have a, I don't want to say a script, but they have menus that they can go to and kind of guide you to where you need to go. All right, also on the 6th, when you call into the main number, there will be an option to press 8 on the phone tree, and all you gotta do is press 8, and it'll take you to a Mission Act representative at the call center.
If you've got questions about eligibility, specific eligibility criteria, the PAC team can help with that as well. And I would like to mention, since this is a transition time from the Choice Program to the Mission Act, that our team has been working really hard to reissue authorizations under the Mission Act for continued services. So if there are any veterans that that their authorization ended on June 6th, we are in the process of sending those non-VA providers an updated authorization to continue their care. So there won't be a lapse in care in the transition from the Choice Program to the Mission Act.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got. You know, we can cover it. Danyelle and her team are doing a great job doing the transition. We are meeting every day up until we get this thing kicked off, on Thursday, June 6th. You're seeing it now, But yeah, we're working around the clock to make sure that we do not have a lapse in our veterans care, to make sure that the transition goes very smoothly. And, you know, thank you for being on the show, Danyelle.
Thank you.
All right. All right, and folks, we'll be back with more Vinson Voice.
Find new roads in a new Chevrolet. Dublin Chevrolet is offering employee pricing on all remaining 2018 Silverados. Right now, with this offer, you can save over $12,000 on a new Crew Cab Z71 LT Chevy. And this month, 0% financing is available on all 2019 Silverados. Find your new Chevy today at Dublin Chevrolet.
Call, click, or come see us. Dublin Chevrolet, the only dealer you will ever need.
People often ask me why I got into racing in the first place. Well, there are actually 3 reasons. 1, for the fun of it. 2, for the excitement. And 3, for the pizza.
Hurry into your Jet Food store today and don't forget to call ahead and we'll have your favorite Hunt's Brothers pizza made to order. Come to your hometown Jet Deli today.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Vinson Voice. I'm your host, Greg Swartz, and got another special friend with me here. Mr. Sam Scaggs. He's our chaplain, Chaplain Sam Scaggs. He works down in the hospice unit.
That's right,
Now.
in the hospice unit.
And it's a kind of a very special location there.
It is. Really some amazing care and love is provided down at the hospice unit when we're with the veterans. Those, as they're in that last season of life, we can journey with them and with their loved ones and family and be a part of this time in their life as they're saying goodbye. It's a very, very special, sacred place.
Yes, yeah, it is. It is a very, very, one of our very special units. And also, you want to talk about the, what do we call it, the veteran?
Reflection.
The veteran reflection, that's right. Is that a new program or?
Actually, it's been around for quite a while, but it has had different names over the years. Initially, it started out every morning from 8 to 8:15. The veterans in the domiciliary program would get together, and they would just kind of have a morning where they would share encouraging words, have the serenity prayer, and kind of start the day out that way. A staff member about 10 years ago took it and created a little more to it and made it go about 20 to 30 minutes. 6 years ago, I had the opportunity of taking it over. At that point, we then turned it into an official group, which went for 45 minutes now. So from 8 to 8:45, we gather here in the chapel and we take part in reflection. And what reflection is a chance to jumpstart the day off right. What it is an opportunity for our veterans to come together in a community. Community is a big word for me. I share that all the time. If you're around Chaplain Scaggs long enough, you'll hear the word community, because I believe in that support system that we have for each other. And so we get in here and we have a sense of community, and it's one veteran spending time with others, supporting each other, sharing from their heart, talking about things that give them meaning and also help them to be successful in the journey that they're on here at the VA.
So it's part of that healing process.
Absolutely, absolutely, 100% healing process. So much that we talk about here in reflection come out of what we call spiritual wounds, the things that have took place in our life, whether it be recently or years back, that kind of robbed us of our joy. They kind of took a little bit of that excitement out of life. We call it the candle of spirituality being blown out. And time of reflection gives an opportunity for everybody to reignite their wick, to come together and to say, here's what's working for me, and here's how I hope it will work for you. And it's just a dialogue back and forth between the veterans getting their day going right.
And it kind of adds to that, gets them back into that camaraderie, that they had when they were in the military. Unfortunately, things happen to some of these ladies and gentlemen. Things just don't work out for them.
That's right.
But then when we have programs like this here in the VA, it just kind of brings it back for them, you know, if you surround yourself with good people, and,
Yes.
you know, good things will happen.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's something that you really just hit the nail on the head when you talk about that camaraderie and the time of having the military background coming in here, because what many will share from will be from instances that they experienced while in the service.
Right.
And I've had so many veterans say, I have shared this countless times in the past, but it wasn't until I shared what was going on in my life to a fellow veteran that I finally felt like someone truly heard what was going on and was able to be with me in that time. So a lot of what takes place in reflection is talking about their military journey and how they are finding strength every day to rise above any challenges that life may throw at them.
Right. Okay. Well, it sounds like a great program, and you said you've been doing it for 6 years now.
6 years now. We started out in the Wellness Center and moved from there down to 14C, and then a real awesome opportunity came to where we were able to utilize the chapel, and that's kind of become our permanent home. And it's a very active group. We'll have anywhere between 35 to even 50 veterans.
Wow, yeah, I see it full in the morning when I come by.
It's a happening place. You'll hear a lot of laughing. You'll hear a lot of cutting up, joking. Again, that community, that strength. And we'll get together in here and kick off at 8 o'clock and go for a solid 45 minutes just lifting each other up, finding out things that are going to make us have a day that is just one that's memorable for the good things.
Okay. And how long you been here now, Sam?
I have been here about 8 years now.
Okay, I thought I was getting close to 10.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I know.
That's right.
I know. We've been on a ride since we've been here.
Man, we sure have. We sure have. It has been a beautiful journey. I thank God for the opportunity to be a chaplain here at the Carl Vinson VA. It's a gift that God has just gave to me, and not only to myself but to my family.
Right.
My wife and children, they love to be out here at the VA. They love being around our veterans. And nothing shows that excitement more than being involved in the morning reflection. I think I got the best chaplain position of all the ones here because I get to be involved in reflection. So I get that opportunity to glean some of that goodness as it's happening amongst the veterans. And so, yeah, 8 years here and looking for many, many more, and just excited about how reflection is incorporated into the overall mission and purpose statement of the Carl Vinson VA in touching lives and changing hearts.
Okay, all right. Well, you're doing a great job, Sam.
Thank you.
And you keep doing great things, and man, yeah, you're doing a great job out here.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you, Greg.
Well, thank you for being on the show, Sam.
Hey, anytime. What a pleasure.
All right. And folks, we'll be back with more Vincent Voice.
It's that time of year, time to fire up the grill, relax, and have some fun. Whether you're a grill master or a wannabe, the Big Green Egg will change the way you think about cooking. Georgia Pools has a large selection from which to choose. They carry a wide variety of accessories too, from charcoal, starters, to grilling tools, seasonings, and sauces. Get your own Big Green Egg cooking system for as low as $58.83 per month. And while you're waiting on that perfect steak to cook, relax in your very own Pawleys Island hammock. What better way to spend the summer days ahead? When you're thinking of grilling and chilling, think Georgia Pools, located at 1201 Hillcrest Parkway in Dublin. Call Georgia Pools at 275-3607.
At Hangers Cleaners in Dublin, we really appreciate your business and strive for customer service and a better quality every single day. That's what we're here for. At Hangers Cleaners, we'll pick up and deliver right to your door, saving you time and money. Hangers Cleaners for all your fine linens, alterations, wedding gowns, leather, you name it, and we'll do it. Hangers Cleaners for your professional dry cleaning and laundry. Hangers Cleaners, the cleaner that cares. Hillcrest Parkway in Dublin.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Vinson Voice. At the end of the show, you know, we always talk about a few things. First one's going to be veteran suicide. One suicide is too many, all right? So if you know somebody that may be in crisis to where you feel they may take their life, then please get them to this number below. It's 1-800-273-8255. If you're a veteran, you'll press 1, all right? So like I said, one suicide is too many, all right? There's help out here for you. When you call that number, you got a warm, friendly person on the end of that line that's wanting to get you the help that you need, and we care about you, all right? I want you to know that we care about you, and we want to get you the help that you need, all right? Then also we always talk about veteran homelessness. You know, unfortunately, situations change. You know, life throws rocks at you, and things happen, all right? So if you are a veteran or know somebody that may be in jeopardy of losing their home, or if they're living in unlivable, what you would think are unlivable condition, or homeless, please get them to this number below, 1-800-4AID-VET, all right? I think it's 1-877-4AID-VET, all right? Then also, we always want to talk about our social media. Facebook is where we post a lot of our information at. And what you do is you type in the search, you'll type in Dublin VA Medical Center, like the page, and you'll start receiving our notifications, all right? We also have a Twitter page, is @VA Dublin. If you want to post comments there, you can do it there. And then you can also go to our webpage, listed down here on the bottom down here, all right? So I want to send a shout out to our Golden Age Games veterans that are out there in Anchorage, Alaska right now. Bring home the gold, and most importantly, have a safe travels home when you get back here. We're gonna have a good time. And then, like I always say at the end of every show, we can still change the world. All it takes is one act of kindness a day. I'm your host, Greg Swartz, and we'll see you next week on the Vinson Voice.